when I first came to America in 1983, the greatest privilege of being in America was having a deed to a property.
Mhm.
And it means not the same thing anywhere else in the world.
It
And
doesn't. Yeah.
and I want to ask you a specific question. All great loan officers have their memories. Snapshots of memory, highlight reels of people you've helped
Yeah.
over the years. Tim, to this day, you'll understand this. They're customers I put together that I'm still in touch with 40 years later.
Yeah.
Tell me a story, specific story about a military kid, preferably out of state or whatever, but someone that you remember, a highlight reel story, could be recently or whatever, that you will remember forever and are proud of why you have the gift of doing what you do, which is connecting basically people with money. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's see. One of the tough cases is probably helping a veteran that became self-employed, and he didn't actually fit into where he was, where he could use his VA benefit. The VA requires what we call full documentation, traditional documentation. That's going to be proof of income through pay stubs. Self-employed will be tax returns, etc. And he for a reason, he basically wrote off way too much on his taxes. And I don't know why. That was an effort not to pay, income taxes, which, you got the right to. But when the VA looks at that with that, spyglass, they go, okay, well, it doesn't really fit what we're doing. So we actually transitioned him to something other than a VA loan, to a bank statement loan purchase, because he could show like, hey, I've got all these deposits coming in. I really do. So we did some extrapolation, over 24 months worth of his business bank statements and showed the deposits. And then we were able to work with his accountant and show like, hey, what's his expenses day to day? And we got that, and we were able to put it together to show, hey, he does have quite a bit of income if we look at it this other way. And that worked out really well. He was so happy because he was getting turned down by another lender. He's like, man, Christmas is coming. We were supposed to be in the house by the 15th of December. This means so much. And I was like, ooh, yeah, it does. It does. Because I've been there when the moving truck is involved. It matters so much more. Other times like right now we're helping a couple. They're engaged, not married. And so when they bought this house originally about a year and a half ago, the other mortgage lender didn't step up and say, hey, the VA requires, they lend to married couples basically. Now, if you're not married, what they'll do is they'll lend 100% to the veteran and they'll do 75% to the non-veteran, okay? Because they want that down payment guarantee. Now, VA doesn't care where the down payment or equity comes from. It can be a gift, it can be a grant, it can be whatever. The veteran can be the one making the down payment. So they ended up going through and they made a 20% down payment on a property, and they came to me to go, hey, we got referred you to refinance. I'm going through it, and I did some fact finding, and I was like, why didn't you just use your VA benefit the first time? You put down enough money, you did all that. And they go, we were never told we could do that. No one's ever said that. And this last lender never even asked us a question if I, about my VA benefit, even though he's in the reserves currently, and some of his income came from VA disability, so it was so odd. So that's really refreshing now to be able to help situations like that too, where people just don't know the extent of what their benefit can get them, how they can leverage it. And there's been the ones too where it's been nice to be able to, we can close a VA loan extremely fast too. We've closed a few in 9 days. Now, every single thing went to plan, but we coordinated in advance, with their agent. We had all the documentation we needed, and we did not miss a beat. And so we convinced people and sellers to take our VA loan over somebody paying cash. We beat out cash offers with a VA loan, and a lot of people think agents have the misguiding of like, hey, it's very difficult, it's very expensive, and it's very slow. And we proved all three wrong. That was awesome.